Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Amador. I am the ordering manager for Better For You Meals. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on our ordering website, so let's get started. So to access our ordering website through our main webpage, which is betterforyoumeals.com, all you have to do is click on Meal Orders. Once you click on that, it's going to take you directly to our sign-in page. Most of you should have a login already set up along with your password. If you do not, please feel free to contact me and I will go ahead and set that up for you. Let's go ahead and log in. If you place multiple orders for different schools, then you'll notice that when you log in, you'll have a select school feature option, which will give you a drop-down where you can select from your different schools and place your orders. If you do not place orders for more than one school, when you log in, it will take you directly to manage orders. So before we start ordering, there's a few things that we need to make sure that we have set up in our system. So first, let's get started with the milk percentage. Most of us should already have these milk percentages set. If not, it's really important that we set these percentages up. If we do not, that just means that we have to manually enter the meal, and I will kind of explain that once I'm in the manage orders and I'm placing my orders. So let's just go ahead. Before I get started, I just want to mention the milk here and the fat-free chocolate milk. So although you see these two options here, for breakfast you can't order fat-free chocolate milk. We do not offer chocolate milk for breakfast. You only see this here because it shows the different types of milks that we are offering. This milk option here, about a year ago we didn't have the option for our clients to order the different types of milk, so we created a general just milk item, and that's why you see it here, but it's inactive, so it doesn't work. If you enter a number here, it won't populate any milk for you. So let's go ahead and enter my milk percentages. And you can enter any percentage that you'd like as long as it doesn't exceed 100%. Go ahead and click on Save. Now let's go ahead and do our lunch percentages. Now for lunch, we do have the option to order chocolate milk. Let's say that I want more chocolate milk than white milk. That's absolutely okay. So all I have to do is just make sure that my white milk is lower than my chocolate. So for the 1% white milk, I selected 20. And now for my fat-free chocolate milk, I want 80. All my students love the chocolate milk. Let's go ahead and save that. Now we also have to do it for the snack lunch. So let's go here, and I'm just going to enter the same percentages that I did for my lunch. And again, it could be any percentage, just as long as it doesn't exceed 100%. Go ahead and save that. Okay, so now that our snack lunch, and breakfast milk percentages are set, we are good with this tab. Let's move over to the fruit and vegetable percentage. So when you log in, you will notice that it's defaulted to 100, which means that you're going to get 100% of whatever you order. However, we do understand that some schools, it's the vegetable and the fruit, it's going to waste. Not a lot of our students grab the fruit, not a lot of students grab the vegetable. So we decided to create this feature to make sure that not a lot of this leftover goes to waste. Let's say for breakfast, it's an early breakfast, I don't get a lot of students, so I don't want all the fruit. I can easily just say I want to receive 50% in the morning. However, for lunch, all my students grab a fruit, so we'll keep it at 100%. The vegetable, not all my students grab the vegetable, and I'm seeing that I have a lot of leftovers, so I don't want 100%, so let's go ahead and put 50. These percentages, like I said, they're defaulted as 100. You cannot go over 100. it's 100 or less, so you can lower it. The point for this is for us to help you monitor the vegetable and fruit and make sure that they're not going to waste. So now that this is set, now we can go back to manage orders for the month of September and place our orders. So for the whole grain cereal, I want 150. So if you remember, for the fruit percentage for breakfast, I entered 50%. So when I click on distribute, it's giving me 50% of the 150. And if you also notice here, my milk self-populates. So everything, once I enter my total here and click distribute, these fields here get self-populated, and that's because I entered a percentage on these two. So let's go ahead and save that. The blueberry waffle, I want 165. And again, the 82 it's coming from the 50% that I put under the fruit for breakfast, and it's 50% out of 165. So let's go ahead and save that again. 155 of the French toast, distribute, and save. Let's go ahead and submit the order. So once you submit your order, you're going to see that the website gives you an option to generate a menu. This is a great feature. Once you click on that generate menu button, it exports a menu. Let's go ahead and generate this menu here. So if you see, this is what I ordered so far. So for Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday are the only days that I placed an order for. So it exports exactly what you ordered. This is great. It helps you just double check that you did place an order for every day. Now let's go to lunch. So the difference with lunch is that you see the vegetable option here. So the fruit, it's going to calculate, if you remember, let's just go quickly back over here. So for fruit for lunch, we decided to stay at 100%, and for the vegetable, 50. Okay, so let's just go back to manage orders. So the fruit, it's going to calculate 100% out of these three lunch options. And then the vegetable, however, it's only going to populate from the turkey sandwich. The reason why it's only populating, or better yet, why it's assigned to the turkey and sandwich, it's because the vegetable is on the side. And this is the vegetable that we want schools to be able to monitor and order less if they need to. For the chicken enchilada with seasoned corn, it's already all together in a plate, so the student doesn't really have the option to say, I don't want the seasoned corn. However, if you order the turkey pastrami sandwich, the veggie dippers come on the side. So in most cases, students will grab the sandwich and forget about the veggie dippers. And sometimes, let's say you ordered 25 of the sandwiches. The students are going to take the 25 sandwiches, but they might not all get the 25 veggie dippers, and those are 25 left over that if you don't want to have 25 left over, you don't have to. So let's go ahead and say that I want 150 chicken enchiladas. We're keeping the 25 sandwiches. I want 5 vegetarian meals. Just really quickly regarding the vegetarian meals, if you notice here, it says plant-based teriyaki chicken. The plant-based, that pertains to the chicken. So the chicken is primarily made of soy protein and peas. We specifically made this vegetarian meal in the entire vegetarian menu, actually, for students who live a vegetarian lifestyle. So let's just go ahead and click distribute. everything here got self-populated. I have my chocolate milk here, my 1% white milk, my fruit. If you remember, I put 100% fruit, so I'm getting 100% out of my entire meal selection. However, for vegetable, I only wanted to get 50%, and that 50% is calculating from the sandwich right here, which is a 25. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's move on to the next day. Let's say I want 25 of the soy butter and jelly sandwich. I want 5 vegetarian meals for my 5 vegetarian students, and I want 150 of the Mongolian beef. So let's go ahead and distribute this. And again, the 12 is from the 50% of the 25 sandwiches. So let's go ahead and save that. Here I want 5, and then I want 145. So again, just distribute, and then I want to submit my order. And again, you do get a generate menu. So you get a generate menu for each tab that you order for. So for breakfast, it's going to generate only the breakfast menu. For lunch, it's only going to generate the lunch menu. And for sack lunch, it's only going to generate the sack lunch menu. Let's say I have a field trip on Tuesday, and 55 of my students are going on a field trip. So let's order 55. I have 2 vegetarian students. I want them to be delivered with breakfast, so it's really important to click this breakfast tab, click distribute, and save. Really important also to submit your order. Okay, so let's say my first week, I noticed that even though I lowered my breakfast percentage to 50 and my vegetable percentage to 50 for lunch, I'm still getting a lot of leftover. So let's say I want to reduce that. So I simply log into the system. I go to my fruit and vegetable percentage. I want 25 of the fruit for breakfast, and I want 25 of the vegetable for lunch. Let's also assume that for lunch you're getting a lot of fruit left over as well. So let's say you want to lower it to 85. You could go ahead and do that and click save. Now, a really important thing to remember is that even though you came back to the system and made these percentages, you made the change, your orders are not going to reflect that unless you go in here and click distribute. So if you remember, we lowered the breakfast percentage. So if you click distribute, it goes down to 37. And all you have to do is hit save. So since we already have this number and I really don't want to lower my breakfast or I don't want to increase it, I just want the I just want the new fruit percentage to show. I just have to click distribute and save. Distribute and save. That's all you have to do. And then the same thing for lunch. Since I lowered my fruit for lunch and my vegetable, so right now I have 180 fruit and 12 vegetable, and I lowered that. Now I'm getting 153 fruit and 6 vegetables. So let's go ahead and save that. So once you click the distribute button, it pretty much unlocks all the fields, so you can always overwrite this. So let's say on a particular day, you're okay with the percentages that you have already, but on a particular day, you just know that the students are going to get all the fruit, and you want to make sure that every student has a fruit. So you can always increase it to the same amount of meals that you're ordering, okay? So let's say I want 160, and for the vegetable, I want lower because they're not going to eat that. So let's say I want 2. Easily save that right Now on this day, I know for a fact that my students, they're going on a field trip. I'm going to have a lot of fruit left over. I don't want to change the percentage because if I change it, then, it changes it for every day. So I just click distribute. I want less fruit. I actually want 100. You can always order less. And if you do order less, let's say that on a particular day you want to get the same amount of fruit as the amount of meals, you can go ahead and do that as well. The only thing that you can't do is order more fruit and vegetable than your meals. And again, if you want the percentages to be applied for the entire month or the entire year, then this is where you have to go. And then once these are set, if you just want a particular amount on a certain day, you can do that by clicking the distribute and making those changes manually. But this is why it's really important to set your milk and your fruit percentage, because I do understand that there's a lot of clicking. So once you set those percentages, it eliminates the whole, the fact of having to enter something manually for each tab. So just something that I did right now that brings up a good little FYI for you guys. A lot of times, some of our clients will go in here and enter this. Let's say this was 50. They click save, and they think it got saved. However, the important thing to remember is that they didn't click the distribute. So it's really important that when you make changes or when you're first placing your initial order that you click the distribute. Once you click the distribute, you'll notice that the save button changes colors. So that's it, you guys. If you guys have any questions or any concerns regarding the fruit and vegetable percentages, or if you want any recommendations on what we think or you think you should lower your percentages to, please feel free to contact me or contact any of your client reps. We will all be able to answer any questions that you have. So like I said, it's really important to set these percentages for breakfast, lunch, sack lunch, and then for the fruit. It will be defaulted at 100, so you can leave it at 100 or you can lower it. It's really up to you and how you feel that your school, if you have too much leftover, then of course lower it. But thank you guys so much, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys.